and welcome to the 2018 Ledgestone Insurance Open presented by Discraft. I am Tournament Director Nate Heinold with four-time World Champion Paul McBeth.
Thanks, Nate. I'm looking forward to this.
We got a couple new faces for maybe the Jomez Productions here: Jacob Sanders, Tim Barham, Ben Callaway, and James Conrad.
You know, these are some new faces I haven't seen before. I've played with a few of these players, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they attack this course today.
Hole 1 is the famous dam hole, Paul. This is a pretty intimidating hole to start the round.
Yeah, I mean, you got basically the whole water carry there, and then, you know, like you said, the dam right there kind of drops off really hard, so you have OB on the right side too to worry about.
First off the tee box, from Blacksburg, Virginia, James Conrad.
Well, he doesn't look like he's ready.
You get 30 seconds, right?
That's true. But yeah, this is a very intimidating first hole to start on. And there's always a lot of wind. You know, you got that lake right there.
Yep.
It wants to push it to the right, but that also pushes it down into the water at the same time.
Would you say this is the most intimidating starting hole on tour for you guys?
Oh, but wow. It definitely is up there. Off the top of my head, I can't think of any more because there's potential to lose the disc. But
Sure.
That's exactly what you want to do. That's actually a pretty good roll.
Oh,
he's
yeah,
got,
because you're on flat ground there.
exactly.
He only has 170 feet there probably.
Yeah,
so.
that's a crush.
So Ben is a long thrower. He's a Discraft player. He actually won the Discraft Great Lakes Open a few years ago.
Yeah, I like Ben. I like playing with him.
He's a fun
good
guy.
kid. You got that up there nice.
Yeah, that is really turning over. It looks like it's fading back, but that could be OB deep. Oh, wow.
Again, right where you want to be.
Yep.
Right on that flat ground. But he really did push that OB out there.
From Des Moines,
It's a
Iowa,
crush to get that far, too.
Jacob Sanders.
This is an MVP player that I've never seen.
Yep.
Do you have any knowledge about him?
I looked at his last few tournaments, and he's been averaging like 1030, 1040. So that's all I know, but I've heard he's very good.
That'll be exciting then. I look forward to this.
Hole 1 actually played a lot easier than it has in the past. It played as the fifth easiest hole in the course for the first round.
And I think that's now that we're here for the third year.
Sure.
Third year that players are starting to figure this hole out and know that you want to make your mistake right.
Yep.
Don't
Yep.
mess with the top of that
Yep.
that hill.
Powell, Michigan.
Well, that's a great shot.
Yep.
Wow, he's almost circle 2 right there.
That's impressive. This hole actually has not changed since. So this is the fourth year actually for this course, and this hole has been in the same spot every year. So this is one of the few holes that has never changed.
Yeah, this is a good hole, but it has changed numbers, correct?
Yes, that is right. That is right.
And it looks like the wind's pretty down right now too. Those flags aren't moving at all.
I would assume Tim is throwing a force there, just like probably Ben. That's got to go.
Oh no.
And you can hear Tim say it hit the rock at least, but that doesn't matter. He'll have to go to the drop zone there.
Yeah, any shot in the water goes to the drop zone, correct?
Correct.
But if you go OB right, you take it from where it goes out. So I think that's why you'll see that mistake to the right more often than not.
And that's why it's really, you cannot miss short here. You have to go long if you're going to go OB.
Well, that's
fine. We did move the drop zone up this year, as you probably noticed, so it is a little bit of an easier drop zone shot. Last year, we saw some guys go in the water from the drop zone, including maybe you, I believe, going for the basket from the drop zone.
if I did, I don't remember, which is a good thing. But as you can see, with Tim's shot, he put it down there right where kind of Ben was, and James as well. And that's a good upshot right there. This is kind of a challenging pin location, too, because if you make it over that hill, there's not much there behind it to stop. So you'll see most players end up right there about where James is, maybe just barely inside the circle, but it's kind of the safer shot.
Sure. There probably isn't more than 18 feet from the basket to the woods line down there, which is complete jail.
Yep.
And Jacob, he's just tossing. I mean, that was 120 feet from the basket, if that.
Yeah, I mean, he could probably jump at that if he really wanted to.
Yeah, for sure.
Here we got James for birdie. That's pretty much automatic for him.
Sure.
But I think we have the potential for 3 birdies right here, which is a great start.
I mean, that's, as I said, this hole played just under par, 3.99, 36% of the field birdied it, actually. So that is really incredible. The wind is not a bad wind. The left to right wind is not a hurting wind. The bad wind is more of the right to left, where it's pulling your disc, or a headwind, because then the disc gets just turned over into the lake.
Yeah, turn over into the lake, and even if you get it above that wind, it's got the OB on the right. So very challenging first hole, but this card did not make it look that hard.
Hole 2 is a 615-foot par 4. It is the same hole as last year, same ropes. Paul, what is the kind of the strategy here?
I think there's 3 shots that I see thrown often. You got the forehand, you got the slow turning backhand with maybe like a mid, or the roller. I see the roller. I think that's the riskiest shot, but I see it more often than I would like to. But here we got James here, probably with just that AVR shot, that slow turnover that I mentioned, and
that's all you need there. He's probably 300 feet out from there, so that's all you need.
Yeah, you can dissect this hole into 2 shots similar to that, where you go putter, maybe a mid, maybe a putter from there, or you can really go for some distance with the forehand. But again, a slow turning, it looks like a mid right there.
Yeah, that is a really great shot.
Yeah.
This hole actually played as the 3rd most difficult hole for the first round, 0.56 strokes over par.
Yeah, and here's the forehand play. Turned it over a little bit more than probably he'd like, but...
That is, I mean, he smashed that just too far left.
Mm-hmm. But again, he's going to have probably a straight look at the basket, but a little bit further than he'd like.
Yep.
And then Tim, a little low, but he might get the distance out of that.
Looks like he was throwing a buzzer, just didn't quite get it high enough. He'll probably have 330 feet to the basket still.
Yeah, he's got a fairway driver, so it's got to turn over a little bit more right. It's tracking towards the water.
Yeah, that just never really had a chance. He took a very aggressive line to that basket.
Yeah, I mean, he should be able to get up and down from there, but not the OB he'd like. And here's Jacob. That's thrown hard. If that can finish under that pine tree, I caught something, but just outside circle 2. But if he would have kept going that line and got under that pine tree, he would have been about 20 feet from the basket.
This hole is a tough birdie. 4 is not a bad score on this hole at all.
Yeah, it just popped up the average there, 4.56. So it's playing pretty far over par. And this is tracking to the OB on the right side.
James looks like, wow. My goodness, he hit the edge of the path or hit something, but that was a great break.
Yeah, and it looks like he'll just be laying up from there. And then this is really where you want to be. You got the look at the basket. You can go with the hyzer right there, or you can toss a little forehand low.
The problem is he's just... Yeah. But that's the miss. You don't want to miss left like Tim did. That's the right side to miss on.
Yeah, you're going to save your 4 from there. But par is good on this hole. Like you said, 4.56. This is a tough hole. Oh, looked like he was going for that.
And that's going to be another bogey for Tim. 2 holes, 2 OB strokes. So he probably was trying to run that a little bit.
And even though you see the basket right here, this is a tough jump putt because I can go in the water. And I think that...
Wow, that's got to be close.
That's close, yeah.
He may have actually landed on the spot for the old basket when this was a short par 3. There's a little bit of a little peninsula.
Wow, he ran that? Yeah, that's an impressive run. And then if you do want to run it, this is kind of what you want to do from back there and just let it get to flat and kind of sneak up into the basket.
Yep.
So that'll be a 4 for Ben. He's safe, it looks like. Oh, must be OB.
He must have been OB because he threw 4 times, so.
Yep. And then here's Tim for his bogey as well.
Paul, one thing you haven't mentioned yet, and the viewers I'm sure noticed, these are new baskets compared to the last few years of this event.
Yes, these are the new Discraft ones.
Chainstar Pros, yep.
Chainstar Pros. And they are pretty unique. They have 3 rings on the inside. And we've played on them before at the Discraft Memorial.
Yep, correct.
Earlier in the year,
yep.
So we kind of got to sample them, and I haven't heard any complaints on them. So.
Hole 3, 260 feet. This is a short par 3, but it is not easy, Paul. It is really there are a lot of trees that can kick your disc left OB.
Yeah, there's really no tricks to it. There's 2 lines. You can go right down the middle, which I'm sure is the way that you intended for it to be played when you first designed it. But, players are always looking for other ways to get to the basket, and there is a forehand line as well, or a turnover, but I don't know if this card is going to be taking that line.
No. There's also a forehand line going right up the middle with the flex forehand, actually. Okay, and that is the...
Oh, no. He stayed safe, though.
Yeah. This hole, believe it or not, played just over par, which is consistent with what it played last year.
And there's that forehand line. A little tight, but that looks like it should be safe.
He's safe. I've seen some forehands go up the middle, actually, and you're going to land 30 feet pin high, and so I think that's a good option. Now, Jacob, he has a good forehand as well. And okay, see, there's that. Yep, there's that line. I actually like that line a lot because Ben's line, the problem with Ben's line, and there I just said it, kind of just circles edge, is if you hit a tree on Ben's line, you're maybe making a 4 because you're almost rethrowing from the tee based on how far you are from the pin still.
Yeah, and here's Tim. I think he really wants to attack this hole after the last 2, and this is a shot that he throws well. When I played with Tim, he throws those straight, those alley shots really well, and I'm not surprised to see him right there just outside the circle. And this is makeable for James.
For sure. I think anything inside 100 is makeable for James.
His nice little step putt here. Wow. Good up and down, though. Should be another par for him. And Ben, it's like a similar distance.
Ben is always just dressed like he's going to a business meeting. He is...
Oh, wow.
I just complimented him, and
he... FollowFlight on a putt.
Look at that. I've never seen that, Paul.
Me either.
That was 80 feet, Paul.
That's from some range right there. A FollowFlight on a putt. That might be a Jomez first.
Benjamin Callaway. Yes. Good for Ben. And look at that little skip there.
Yeah. I mean, you said he's here for business, and he's not messing around.
Oh, nice. Tim, a SloMez on a FollowFlight back-to-back for the 2 Discraft guys.
Snuck that right over the cage. Good putt, good birdie. That's how you come back from 2 bogeys.
For sure.
Oh, just off the cage for birdie. So a par for Jacob and a par for James. This is kind of one that you want to get, but it is tricky. If you catch any tree, you don't really get an opportunity like James did. But
sure.
Yeah, hole 4.
Well, 423 downhill, plays like probably 360-ish. OB right, if your disc is turning over, going over that hill, you will not be in bounds.
Yeah, if you go out of bounds on this hole, you're not really taking a 3. You're not taking a par, you're not saving it. I think the mistake to make is to the left, but it's also the play as well. So look for these players to kind of just finish to the left in the woods, but probably still will have a putt look from there. That's the height. That's the exact height you want on this shot.
And look at it ride down. That looks like a putter.
Yeah.
From Ben.
Yep. 423 feet putter shot.
He throws it far.
Yep. And then see, even though it's so far left, I don't think that's a terrible shot because it can get so far down there through those woods.
Sure.
It's leafy, but it's not a lot of thick trees over there.
He was hyzering, so that may not have come back. There's James.
I feel like he's thrown that disc on every shot so far.
Yeah, but you know what? That's got to come back because if it doesn't, it's out of bounds.
Coming. Oh, no.
Oh, I think
snuck back in.
It looks like it snuck back in. That's 50 feet deep with a putter.
Yeah. And like you said, it plays like 325, but if you get a hold of it down this hill, you can be throwing 470 with the putter.
For sure.
That looks good. A little high, so it's going to finish probably left into the woods, but he might have a look. Or catch that tree right there. And
that was not a bad kick.
The circle.
Yeah.
But that's still a scary putt.
For sure. You could easily kick that and go out of bounds.
Looks like he's putting from here, so probably just a layup.
Oh, wow. He was
way up
top. He
top.
was way back there. His disc was almost straight left.
Yeah, that was earlier than I thought it was.
But you know what? That is a really great shot. He's throwing that almost blind because he probably can't see the basket from there.
Yeah. With a pitch out to take a 4, I mean, There's nothing more he could have done from there.
Yep. And James was just laying that up, and that's probably smart because he could have hit the basket and rolled backwards out of bounds.
Yeah, he still has a little tricky 15-footer
Sure.
there, just behind that tree. But another birdie look. Oh, no. Hopefully that stopped, but that could go easily outside of the circle with the drop-off behind this basket.
Sure.
Fresh off a 90-footer. Oh.
That's the miss, though. If you go long, if you ramp off the top of that, you're going to be down the hill just like you see Jacob there. So.
Oh, that could roll out of bounds. Oh, looks like he stayed safe. Yeah, that's a tough 3-putt right there. But good 3 from James.
Yep.
A few tap-ins right here. Unfortunately for a bogey.
Some swirly vultures.
Yeah, that was hole 4. And now here to hole 5, the baseball field hole.
The baseball field hole. This is where you wedged that disc in last year, 476 feet, par 3. We did move the rope on the right side a little bit out, so the lefties kind of have a bailout zone. This is just a fun par 3 to just launch it as high as you can and get it on a hydro line.
Yeah, and it's still so challenging. Like, it's reachable, but it's challenging. It's got OB all around it. Just looking for these players, especially this card, to just throw that big hyzer like that and let it fly straight and then just finish left. And that looks like just short.
Just shorted it. He'll go to the drop zone, which we did make a little easier from last year. This hole actually is the second most difficult hole in the course from round 1 with a favorable wind, I would say, Paul. Would you not agree?
I mean, judging off James' hair right there, it's a nice tailwind coming off of that. But circle 2, I mean, that's a good shot. I think a lot more people are playing it like that, a little bit wider, a little bit safer, and then just attacking on the putt rather than trying to put it in the cage, in the basket, or park it. So.
Only 24% of the field actually got it in circle 2 in regulation. And Tim is taking a really aggressive line with, it looks like a crank, and that really never had a chance. So.
Yeah, I was surprised to see Tim attacking it like that, especially with the 2 bogeys so far. Thought he played a little bit safer and trust his putter. But he'll be headed to the drop zone.
Yep.
Ooh, that's low. But it looks like it's got the power to get there. Let's see if it can get over this fence.
It looks like it's going to be long. That's some serious power there, Paul.
Yeah, this is the first time I'm seeing Jacob, and he's got some power. So I can't wait to see what he does on the next hole.
Sure.
But
how much does the elevated basket, how much harder does that make this hole?
I think it really affects the green. I think it's easier from the drop zone with the elevated basket because you can see it.
Sure.
You can visually see it from the tee pad and the drop zone. But putting with this open field, it can get breezy and it can make that green difficult.
Sure. That was a good drop zone shot from Ben. You see the wind just slam Tim's disc down, but he's still right on circle's edge.
Yeah, and that's where the elevated basket's going to come into effect, about that 30-foot range. Here's James from just inside circle 2.
And it looked like he was kind of laying that up.
Yeah, like I said, it's breezy on this elevated basket. It really takes an effect on the putters, and see if Tim can convert here. That's a good putt.
I mean, that's an incredible bogey save. So,
I mean, that's about as good as you can do from once you're in that baseball field. Four is all you can ask for.
You can't get any better.
And a birdie look coming back at the basket here. Nice, he snuck it over this time.
That's incredible. I can't imagine many of the field was long of the pin on that hole.
No, not too many. And he's had 3 birdie putts in a row, and he's finally able to convert. The first 2 he missed a little low. This time he got it up and over on the elevated basket. But Ben tapping in his 4.
And once again, you can't be disappointed with a 4 after going OB off the tee.
No, you can be disappointed in the drive.
Sure.
But that up and down should make you feel better.
Last year, people weren't getting up and down like that from the drop zone that easily. It was a much harder drop zone. We made it easier to give people a chance to take a 4.
Yeah.
Whoa, what's going on here, Paul?
Looks like the deformation for the Mighty Ducks. But hole 6.
Hole 6.
897 feet. What did you think when you designed this hole?
I just wanted to make it long and open and have a chance to kind of just crush the disc. We had it as a par 5 a few years ago. It is the most difficult hole in the course. It played a stroke over par, and today we're playing to the left A pin.
Yes, and this is the more difficult. Actually, I don't think this is more difficult pin location. I think the B pin now.
Sure.
Just because it's closer to the OB line.
Sure.
But that's a great drive right there. I think the drive needs to be close to that rope in order to attack for your birdie.
For sure.
But
And honestly, this hole only had 1-3 for the opening round.
only one
Only
birdie.
1-3, which is surprising. There were actually more threes last year, and the tee is actually about 20 feet forward, and that's actually out of bounds.
Yeah.
But the tee is actually about 20 feet closer than it was last year.
That's true. But yeah, going OB right down the left side. I mean, if you,
That's
I don't know,
really
you
tough.
don't want to go beyond the drive. That it really.
It's
makes
a
this
wide fairway.
Yes, it makes it so much harder. I did go OB, so I don't have much to say, but
Well,
you don't want to go OB on this hole.
Ricky actually went OB left and got up and down for par.
Okay.
So the hole is very challenging. I wouldn't say it's unfair. A few years ago, the ropes were very tight. We've loosened it a little bit. But you don't want to go OB left here.
No, you can see the wind just affecting those. It doesn't look like there's much wind out there, but it's carrying those discs in a funny way right now. Oh no, that's pretty far right. That needs to move left a lot.
And honestly, that's pretty much a rethrow, unfortunately, because he never came back across the ropes. He'll get to move up a little bit there.
It is too, and this field it's so catchy.
Yep.
The grass is so catchy. You're not going to get a skip back in bounds, even if it's close. And
But honestly, that helps the shots in the fairway more than anything else,
Yeah.
because your shot that's skipping left to, won't go out of bounds. And James, another OB stroke there.
He'd had that putter again, and he was just laying it up too and made a mistake. And that's what makes this hole so challenging. Is even when you're trying to play smart,
Sure.
you can get double penalized.
And you can see Ben here. He's throwing a 280-foot hyzer there. He was in position to attack, and he said, "I'm going to take a 4."
He was, and I'm sure he's attacking. Right
I'm sure Jacob is saying, "I'm going for the green."
Yep, he put that in a good spot, and he is. But that's going left.
The good thing is the grass is so grabby. He had it on an angle, but still he can get up and down for a 5 from there.
He's still got a putt. He's in circle 2 from
True.
there.
Tim has got to kind of.
He's got to put this safe.
Yeah, he's got to get it safe, and that's got to get down.
Yep. This hole is it's beating these 4 down right now.
It is. I looked at the forecast and it said no wind this week. Calm and variable or light and variable, and this course always has wind.
Yep. And Ben with a good up and down right there. That's textbook 4 right there.
It's basically a birdie, to be honest.
But like you said, the weather, you said it's supposed to be calm. It was also supposed to thunderstorm every day, too. So.
And I think we're good for the rest of the week, it looks like.
James right there.
And James, that's 4 throws plus 2 OBs. That's probably a 6, I believe, for James.
Yep, a drop in 6 right there. And there's nothing in the way of this hole. That's what makes it so challenging.
I know.
There's nothing in the way, but you can still double bogey it.
It's the second shot when you're hyzering right to left, going into that narrow zone. You don't want to miss right, and you miss left a lot, just like Tim did and just like James did there.
Yeah, and you'll notice these putts are coming up short because that OB behind it is
Sure,
actually
very
pretty
close.
Yep, and it gets in your mind when you got those 60-footers, 50-footers. So you'll see a lot of these putts come up short right here. But that was a good par from Ben.
Oh, yeah.
Like you said, there was 1-3. So very challenging hole today. This card just proved that. But you gave us a nice hole on the next one. you allow us to pick up our spirits.
There you
right
go.
there.
I actually moved the tee back about 45 feet from last year, and the drone is passing over this tree right here to the left that the city cut down because it was dead. So this hole actually, it's playing harder than last year by about 0.4 of a stroke just because of the distance. But it really is pretty straightforward with a kind of a forehand or just a straight putter, maybe a straight mid-range.
Yeah, 275 feet. It's very gettable, but I think a lot of people prefer that forehand.
Sure.
Because of this first tree on the left. But with the forehand, you got to deal with these trees on the left as well with the backhand. So
It's a great putter shot by Ben.
That is.
Right down the middle. The forehand also won't skip into the water left, or won't kick. If you hit a tree with a forehand, you're not probably going to go left into the water.
And this is the shot I expect to see from a lot of cards and
Yep.
a lot of people. So, but that green is so protected. You
Yep.
know, from the tee box, it looks like the basket's right between those trees, but it's actually 20 feet behind, so it's hard to get actually to the pin itself. Oh no, that's in the water.
And that's the problem with the backhand. If you get it right and hits that tree, it's not going to be in bounds.
Yeah, they're always pushing right to that little creek back or little river back there.
Yep.
So.
And here's Tim with a straight putter, and that looks like it's going to be parked, and he really needed that one.
That looked like a really understable putter. So this is a good FollowFlight right here. Look at the movement on that shot.
Tim likes the Challenger, so that may have been the Challenger SS, a new release from last year. And James is actually, looks like he had to go down into the creek area because his meter didn't get him back up top.
Nasty roll right behind the trees, too. That's going to be tough to get up and down to save his 4.
Yeah, that'll be a 30, yeah, there you go, 38 feet. Oh,
wow.
Jeez, that is a 4 save if I haven't seen one, Paul.
Great putt. Right on the pole, too. That was not an easy hole for James right there. Here's Ben for a birdie. Oh, snuck it right over.
This was actually the second easiest hole on the day. 41% of the field birdied it. So as you said, this is one you want to get.
Yeah, especially after that the par 4 before. This is one you feel like you have to get, and there's not many on the course, and it's tough to see. Jacob's just not having a good day right here on the green, so hopefully he can pick it up the last few holes, especially with the birdie stretch coming up.
Sure.
I feel like, gotta get that putter in tune here. And you don't need the putter in tune when
that feels good there. Hole 8 is what I call the Peninsula Hole. We moved the basket forward about 25 feet this year, and I feel like it really made a difference. If you don't get your drive into this landing zone and you don't get it across the creek, you go to the drop zone with penalty, just under 800 feet, Paul.
Yeah, I like the change here. It allows you to attack the basket and the green more. When it was on the other side of that big tree, you kind of had to worry about coming into the green because if you caught that tree, you were in the water.
Sure.
But now you can kind of just lay it up at the mouth of that peninsula and still have a long look at it.
Sure.
And you opened up that gap right there as well.
We trimmed it a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, so that's the ideal drive right there that Ben threw. And it's an island. You didn't point that out. If you don't clear it, you're throwing from a drop zone.
Yep. That's a good drive from Tim. This hole played about a half stroke over par. 9% of the field did birdie this hole, which is definitely higher than in past years. In past years, it was a 2 to 3% rate for the birdie rate.
Yeah, less than 5 probably around.
And here's Jacob going the hyzer. He about hit that fence.
That's got to get up. Oh, no.
And then just really never had a chance. He almost hit the fence.
Yeah, and the reason you throw the hyzer is because it takes away all the trees. It takes away everything. All you have to do is put the height on it. And he's going power down the middle.
And that's probably not going to get through there.
Oh, he did.
He throws it so hard that he just crashed through those trees.
Yes, he did.
So Jacob will have to go to the drop zone, which is the 500-foot stake is right after the creek. So he's 525 feet here.
Yeah, and the goal from there, I think, is just get it to that mouth and maybe have a look. But
Paul, that is incredible.
Yeah, they're still on the green right there.
Wow,
now I see why he throws the hyzer off the tee. He's got that power.
And James, that is leaking, right? That has got to sit down. I think he's okay.
Yeah, with the power he had on that, I think he was just laying up anyways.
If you're going to lay up, though, you really got to make sure you're in the mouth there.
Yeah, but he should be able to get up and down. And
I don't think Tim's laying up. Yeah, he's not laying up here, but you know what? That's
got to get down. Oh, no. That's not the mistake you want.
If you're going to go for it, you have to be long then. So at least you're putting from near the basket when you go, but you can't go in the water there.
Yep. And this is... I thought he was throwing a turn over there with something a little bit understable. And that's exactly what you're saying.
At least he got it. He's only probably 20 feet out for his par. So that is what you want to do. Ben played that hole very smart, just didn't quite turn it over enough.
But we got 4 different players in 4 different spots in 4 different situations right now. That's got to sit too.
And that's...
Oh, no.
You can see how dry it is there, Paul. We've kind of been in a drought here, and there's really... if you get the disc on an angle, it's gonna bounce and roll into the water there.
Yeah, and these are a lot of uncharacteristic. Oh,
Wow.
I was just about to say these are some uncharacteristic mistakes from these players, but
That was an incredible par.
yes, yeah, exactly. That's why I'm surprised he doesn't just put it to the mouth, and I'm sure that's what he was trying.
Sure.
And then attack it on the green, but that was a good save, a great save, I should
For
say.
sure.
And this could be an even better one. Oh no, that's gotta sit.
I can't imagine anybody getting up and down for a 4 by going out of bounds off the tee.
No. But how do you feel when you see these putts rolling into the water after knowing you designed this?
No comment?
But I mean, I'm sure that's how you intended it to be. So
I may or may not have had my guy trim that hillside down this past week. You can kind of see past the basket where it's still green. So,
Yep.
Hey, I shortened the basket up. So
no, you did. I mean, that's as players we got to be aware of that.
Sure.
You know?
Sure. If you can see right of Jacob, we actually kind of cleaned up the right side of the green there as well.
You did. But that was another tough par 4 for this
Sure.
group.
The bridge hole, Paul, 354 feet. Through the bridge to the island green. This hole is just intimidating from the tee.
Yeah, I mean, you put it there just to kind of say, here it is, good
Yep.
luck. And if you don't put it on the island, your birdie chance is gone. And I don't think that bailout zone is as, what should I say?
Forgiving.
As forgiving, and it doesn't say, hey, lay it up.
He
And
hits
patch it.
the bridge,
It gets it there.
directs it inbounds. That's an amazing break.
I don't think we'll see that again.
Oh, that's no way.
But yeah, that layup zone is not enticing, is what I was trying to say, is
Yeah.
you have to attack it now.
And we made it actually a little tighter than last year.
Nice.
The one
try.
benefit of this hole is that if you land in the island, your disc is probably not going to skip. The grass is grabby.
Yep.
You're not going to skip short into the island, but you will have some catch on that
Yeah.
island.
And that looks like a mid-range right there.
And that's going to be fine. He's going to be just circle's edge.
Yeah, and that's I think the common play. People
Sure.
are gonna throw it right at the basket with a fairly straight disc, and just let it leak out to the left and get like that a circle 1, circle 2 putt. And that's all he throws is that AVR.
That is
Get
a
there.
dead line on the... Oh, no.
Oh.
I just said it, though. If you land short, you're not going to roll in bounds. The
Yeah.
grass just eats that disc. And if you go OB here, you have to go to this drop zone, which is not an easy shot, Paul.
No, you only have about a 30-foot. You got the circle to land in, so that should be an up and down for 4 from James right there. But
This hole was birdied by 31% of the field. Then 62 feet here.
oh,
If he had gone bridge birdie there, that would have been impressive.
that would have been a good one. Here's another birdie look for Jacob. There it is, converting from outside the circle, and if he can make putts like that on the next 4 holes, he can get hot right here
For sure.
because he's having birdie look after birdie look right now. And Tim for birdie, that's a good birdie.
Tim hasn't made a lot of pars. He's made some good birdies, made some mistakes. We'll see if he can pick it up on the back nine.
Yeah, this is
James for bogey.
for bogey.
And that's the best you can do from the drop zone, to be honest.
Yeah, it is. And this is, I think, the birdie stretch right here. This is,
Yep.
I think, where you have to score. This course is tough to start.
Sure.
A lot of players get out to a slow start, but this is where they bring it back. And then the final few holes is where you see if they had a good round or a great
Sure.
round.
That was the front nine. There are the scores. You see Ben with a great round, 2 under going so far. There are the scores through 9 holes for the top 10. Emerson, Keith, Garrett, Gerthy. Some familiar names and some not familiar names.
Yeah, only one player with that birdied more than half of the holes.
Sure.
there, so it's a tough front nine, but it makes for excitement on the back nine.
Yep. So we will see you on the back nine shortly.